There's a place on Earth where it hasn't rained in over 500 years. A landscape so barren, NASA tested Mars rovers there, not as a simulation, but because it's the closest thing we have to the red planet. Welcome to the Atacama Desert, the driest, most surreal place on Earth. But this isn't just a story about dry land. It's a story of paradoxes, of mummies older than the Egyptian pharaohs, life that thrives without water, and a brutal beauty that defies everything we think we know about survival. Stay with me, because the truth about the Atacama is far stranger than fiction. The Atacama Desert stretches along the western coast of South America, primarily in northern Chile, sandwiched between the Pacific Ocean and the towering Andes Mountains. But here's the twist: despite being so close to the ocean, this place is a rainless void. Parts of the Atacama have never recorded a single drop of rainfall. Scientists estimate some riverbeds have been dry for over 120,000 years. And yet, this place isn't just an empty wasteland, it's a time capsule of human resilience, scientific mystery, and planetary extremes. Imagine standing in a place where clouds drift overhead, but never weep. Where storms form offshore, but die before reaching the sand. Why? Because the Atacama lies at the intersection of three brutal climate systems: the Humboldt Current, a cold ocean current that chills the air, preventing clouds from rising; the Andes Mountains, acting like a massive wall, blocking moisture from the Amazon; and the subtropical high-pressure belt, which actively pushes rain clouds away. The result? An alien world where annual rainfall can be as low as 0.04 inches, that's less than 1 drop per square meter per year. To put it in perspective, Antarctica gets more precipitation than Atacama. Let that sink in. The driest desert on Earth is not the frozen poles, but a place kissed by the sun. You might think no one could live here, but the Atacama tells another story. Over 7,000 years ago, long before the pyramids of Giza rose from the sands, the Chinchorro people settled in this bone-dry wilderness. Their legacy? The oldest known intentionally mummified humans on Earth, some dating back to 5000 BCE. That's 2,000 years older than ancient Egypt's first mummies. And get this, thanks to the Atacama's dryness, their skin, organs, and hair remain eerily intact. You can still see the expressions on their faces, frozen in time, untouched by decay. Why did they live here? How did they survive? That mystery continues to haunt archaeologists. If this place seems otherworldly, that's because it is. The soil in parts of the Atacama Desert is so dry, so sterile, that it's virtually devoid of life. Even bacteria struggle to survive. This makes it the perfect testing ground for Martian exploration. NASA scientists have brought their Mars rovers here, including prototypes of Curiosity and Perseverance, to see how their instruments handle true desolation. When you watch footage of a rover trundling across Mars, remember, its first steps were taken on Earth, in the Atacama. And yet, against all odds, life still finds a way. Microscopic organisms called extremophiles burrow beneath rocks and inside salt crystals, extracting moisture from thin air. Researchers recently discovered cyanobacteria colonies hidden inside quartz rocks, surviving in what should be impossible conditions. These findings don't just astonish biologists, they fuel hope that life might exist on Mars, or even Europa, Jupiter's icy moon. The Atacama, in its silence, might hold the key to one of humanity's biggest questions: are we alone? Here's a quick bizarre fact: the Atacama isn't just dry, it's salty. So salty, in fact, that entire valleys are white with sodium, resembling snow but cracking like glass underfoot. Locals call one area the Valle de la Luna, the Valley of the Moon, because its salt-encrusted formations gleam like lunar rocks. In the right light, it's hard to tell if you're on Earth or some ancient alien world. The Atacama Desert is more than just Earth's driest place, it's a paradox wrapped in silence. It preserves the dead, yet inspires new life. It mirrors Mars, yet holds our oldest ancestors. And maybe that's why we're so drawn to places like this. Because in their extremes, in the impossible conditions, we find the raw limits of life itself. And sometimes, our greatest answers. If a mummy can outlast millennia without moisture, if a microbe can survive where even water won't tread, then what might we be capable of, when pushed to our limits? If you enjoyed this dive into one of Earth's strangest wonders, subscribe to Veil of Fortune, where hidden history and the planet's greatest mysteries come to light. Until next time, stay curious.